Hello, back to give some predictions for this weekend's good card we got. Going to be a pay-per-view here. Kamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland. Overall, I think the card's probably a little bit lackluster. There could be some better matchups on here. I mean, the main event's the real standout, obviously. I think that's what's going to sort of make the card. Everything else doesn't really scream great matchups or super exciting fights, but a couple of the ones I find a little bit more interesting. There's a few fights I do sort of like the look of. One I'm going to start off with that I think will be pretty good watch will be Roman Kopylov versus Marco Tulio. Kopylov, he's been a pretty good fighter in my opinion. Only lost to real high level guys in the middleweight division. Always good striking. Really good stand up, but can keep people off him. He's not going to go to ground super easy. Marco Tulio, relatively newcomer to the UFC. Likes to go out there and crack. Definitely a flashy sort of fighter. I think Kopylov's too technical for him, though. I think he's going to be landing crisper, cleaner punches. He's quite a sizable underdog in this Kopylov, which is a bit surprising to me. I think he's got a little bit more experience. I think he's gonna be able to make the reads on Marco. I think Marco's going to be a bit too trying to look for the flashy stuff too much, too often. And I think Kopylov will probably get the better of him in a 3-round decision. I think it will be a close fight, and Marco's still young. He's still got plenty of time to improve. So I think Roman's probably a little bit too advanced for him this early in his career. But it's a good fight. Good. That's one of the better, more even matchups on the card, I reckon. Looking forward to seeing who wins that one. But I'm going to go Roman Kopylov to win by points. Just being a bit more technical. Could even look to go to the ground, I think, would be a good option. So Kopylov to win by unanimous decision. Another one I like is the Ukrainian guy, Yaroslav Amosov. This guy was a pretty well-credentialed fighter from another organisation. So he's made his debut submitting Neil Magny in round 1, which is quite a good achievement to have, I would say, for your debut in the UFC. I think this dude's pretty good. I think he's going to shake a few feathers, ruffle a few feathers in the UFC. So I think he's he's a tough son of a bitch, I reckon, this Ukrainian bloke. Joel Alvarez, he's looked pretty good. He's only lost to Arman Sarukian. And he lost to Damir Ismagulov in his debut. So he's only lost to really high-level guys. But he also hasn't fought super high-level competition. You could say the same for Amosov, but, you get that coming from Bellator or wherever. I think it was Bellator, he come from. I think Joel's probably got the better experience, the better names on the list. He's certainly had more fights in the UFC, so I just think this Yaroslav Amosov is gonna be too good for young Joel. I think he's got the ground game covered. I don't think Joel's very good on the ground. I think Yaroslav's going to be better everywhere on the fight. I think he'll win that one by submission. I think he'll probably go for a round 2 submission this time, is my guess. Another good fight I like the look of is Ateba Gautier versus Ozzy Diaz. So Ateba Gautier is a beast, knocking everybody out. He only recently went to a decision of Andrei Puliev in his most recent win. So undefeated. Great prospect for UFC. Very exciting fighter. Obviously gives you a bit of Francis Ngannou vibes. Huge power. Absolutely monster of a human being. And Ozzy Diaz, probably the biggest underdog on the card, but for good reason, Ozzy Diaz, I think he's getting fed to the wolves a bit here. I could see Ateba Gautier probably round 1 knockout maybe round 2 knockout, round 1 or 2. He's going to be making it look easy. He's probably going to go for another highlight real uppercut or something. Aussie Diaz, if I'm in his position, I'm wrestling. I'm just going to try and test his wrestling, get their muscles filling up with blood. But I think people have tried that. I think Ateba's relatively hard to take down. He's just he looks just so strong. So yeah, Ateba Gautier to win that one. Big KO, I reckon, will be the answer in that fight. Another fight sort of catches my eye. I'm going to go with Sean Brady versus Joaquin Buckley. So Buckley's done typically fairly good with most grapplers. I know he lost to Kamaru Usman, but Kamaru Usman's a different breed when it comes to the wrestling. So I'm interested to see how this will tell me where Sean Brady sort of stacks up with his grappling. Obviously, he's always been a pretty heavy grapple heavy sort of style fighter. Good with submissions and stuff. But yeah, like I said, Buckley's typically been pretty good at keeping these sort of guys off his back and keeping it standing. And I think that's going to be, how this fight sort of goes. If Buckley keeps it standing, he'll probably win on the feet. Obviously, be a bit quicker with the striking, bit more power, I think, in the hands. But if Sean Brady can get it to the ground, I think he'll do damage. I think he'll ground and pound him, and I think he could possibly set up a sub. So this is another one of the ones I think that is a bit tougher to pick. This is definitely a pretty good matchup. I think, Buckley looks good. He's still pretty young, and he's sort of still learning. So I think the Kamaru Usman fight would have rubbed off on him pretty good. He didn't take like a huge amount of damage, but he would have learned a thing or two. And Sean Brady getting knocked out by Michael Morales in his last fight, I think that's going to make him a little bit hesitant. I don't know how well. I think he can take shots pretty well, but I think he's going to be a bit nervous after that. But I don't think Buckley brings anywhere near the power that Michael Morales does to this fight. So he'll probably be shy for maybe a round or so, and then I think once he realises the power isn't the same, he'll sort of come into his own a bit, and I think he will get Buckley to the ground. I wouldn't be surprised if it does go to decision, but I'm gonna tip Sean Brady to win this one by sub in round 2. I reckon late round 2 he's gonna lock up a rear naked choke, get Buckley's back, and I think Buckley's gonna show that he has a little bit more defense with the submissions, but I think Sean Brady's just gonna lay in some heavy ground and pound, get a good one under the chin, and sort of look to work his way back up there in the rankings here and possibly get back towards another title shot in the near future. Another good fight, I think, is going to be Alexander Volkov versus Waldo Acosta. A couple of heavyweights going on it. And I think, Waldo, he's got all the makings of a good fighter here. He's sort of surprised me a few times. I didn't think he'd do real good, but he's just kept improving. He's got good feet, good clean technique. You can't argue with his style. Just the 1-2s down the pipe. He doesn't go crazy. But Alexander Volkov, I thought he was sort of getting to the end of his career. I thought his chin was sort of looking a little bit faded. But he's come good. He looks really good now, I reckon, Volkov. So I think the trouble is obviously the height comparison is going to be hard for Waldo. Waldo's no slouch. He's a big dude, but you're talking 2 inches in height to Volkov. I think that's gonna play a big part in this fight. I think 80-inch reach versus 78 inches, so he's got a 10-inch reach advantage. I think it's gonna be hard for Waldo to close the distance and get in there. I think the teeps are gonna be up the middle, big knees from Volkov. But like I said, Volkov's a bit hit and miss in my opinion. He looked really good, then he went sort of bit average for a bit. Like, when Derek Lewis knocked him out and shit, it was just disappointing. Had a decision to Greg Hardy, like, what the fuck? And then, he sort of come good again, and then, he sort of dropped off a little bit. So he's hard to tell, but recently he's looked pretty good. I think, he's always going to struggle with people like Cyril Gahn and stuff, but when he beat Sergey Pavlovich, that surprised me. Even that, it was a very close fight. It was hard to pick a winner in that fight. But yeah, Volkov, he sort of annoys you a bit. Like, he's got such a safe style, but I guess that's just his game plan, like point fighting from range. So yeah, Volkov's going to win that one, I reckon. Decision again. Same sort of style from him. Same sort of, teeps from range, everything, using his physical attributes well. And then straight into the main event, Hamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland. I think this is going to be a bit of a whitewash, personally. I think, Strickland talks a big game, but he's never been in there with someone like Hamzat in terms of the high-level wrestling. Seen people try and take him down, but I don't think this is going to be anything like what he thinks it's going to be like. Thinks he's going to stop a takedown. Sure, he might stop one, he might stop two, but Hamzat Chimaev, I think he's going to be like a dog off the lead. He's going to just keep coming forward. I think it's going to be a long night for Strickland. I do think Hamzat will get a finish eventually, but I think he's going to inflict as much damage as possible beforehand, make Sean suffer a little bit. So yeah, Hamzat Chimaev. I think he might get a KO, ground and pound KO. So round 3 or 4. Going to destroy poor Strickland. But yeah, should be a good watch, good main event. All right, thanks for listening.